Hello, once again, I'm going to be answering some questions for our class based on the book Amusing Ourselves to Death. So, in this book, he talks about how television is now only a means of entertaining people and not as much giving out information. I noticed when I first started reading this book that it was written way before my time. I think it was the 70s or 80s. I feel like this book was definitely written before its time. And when I was reading some of the reviews on the book, I was like, okay, sure, yeah. But I honestly think that because I think the book applies way more now than it probably did when it was written. And I say probably because I wasn't born when it was written, so I have no idea. Except to look at the reviews of people that were back there. So the book definitely hits the nail on the head. I mean, you notice businesses all the time advertising as a means of just trying to get someone's attention, not as much trying to like tell people their products. Like I was putting, oops, I was putting in, I was put in a marketing class, and in the marketing class, we had to do a project on this backpack, and I had to design a backpack based on what people wanted, rather than what I wanted. And it's just all entertainment. Like there was just features just to try to please people. So, and I think I definitely agree with his convictions regarding television. So, another thing that he talks about is that we should emphasize Huxley's point of view rather than Orwell's in trying to understand the plight of American culture. Huxley said that people wouldn't basically wouldn't care to read books, and Orwell feared that people would want to ban them. So, and I definitely agree with Huxley. There was more points offered up in the book, but I guess the main point is that people just didn't really care as much, and I think people didn't care, which was Huxley's view, and Orwell was banning. Uh, it was more at the heart of the issue, and I think that's where I stand on the issue is because I'm 23 years old, and I think there's just a lot of people that just don't care to really read. They want the 5 minute video, the 30-second review. Like they don't want to do the reading themselves. But I think I really like books. I mean, there's like 15 books here, just like kind of sitting up here, and there's another like 20 books behind me. So I think it's very important to try to read books. There's something that like a physical copy of a book that just kind of makes you like invested, like you're connected with this physical copy. And I think right now, the younger generation of people, like with technology, the advance in technology is just they don't care for information. And I think this book is just hitting the nail on the head. It just in just expressing that like people don't care anymore. They just want the 30-second, the 5 minute review. You know, the only time they'll ever watch something, it from my experience, the only time a kid will ever watch something that's longer than 5 minutes is some guy on YouTube who records his games. Now, if you or records video games, if you're watching this and you're one of those people, it's no offense to you. It just like if that's your way of entertaining yourself, fine. But there needs to be some sort of stimulant of knowledge gained as far as like advancing like the theological and philosophical parts of your brain, not just solely entertainment purposes. What should the role of the church be in attempting to reverse the culture, the cultural realities laminated by Postman? I think. I think. Sorry. I think the role the church should kind of take is just to try to get at people's hearts, and just try to really just try to really reverse that mindset that it is important. Show people why it's important to read physical copies. The whole print versus technology generation. If the church can reverse that in their mind, that'll make a huge difference. So we need to kind of go at people's hearts and see why they care. And you have to attack the why. Like if you can change their why, then you won't have to put in so much effort or invest so much in a person. And oftentimes, I mean, that's kind of, if you're a Christian, that's what you kind of do when you're evangelizing. Can I ask you why you don't believe? You know, and 9 times out of 10, a person will just say, yeah, this is why. You know, and even if you don't know the answer, it's fine. You know, and if you don't know how to change someone's, you can very easily research it. There's books like this, Amusing Ourselves to Death, and plenty of other books that can get at the that can get at these kind of issues. So that's what I got. Thank you.